Stray dog refuses food, but moments later he returns with a surprise she never expected. She carefully spooned the rice into the tin bowls. She'd prepared it that morning and it was still steaming. The dog started to edge forward, crowding around her. A furrow of worry started to form on her forehead. Where was Tao Pluie today? She started to panic, and her eyes darted to the outer ring of encroaching stray dogs. Then she saw him and was startled by what was dangling from his mouth. Every day, Orawan Kaiwa Ayat had the same routine. She'd cook rice for the stray dogs in the area where she lived in Krabi, Thailand. She was living at the housing for the city police for now, but would be moving soon. She was worried about who would take care of the dogs when she was gone, and she was especially worried for Tao Pluie. Tao Pluie was no ordinary dog. Orawan had developed a soft spot for one dog in particular, and she'd named him Tao Pluie, which translates to winged bean. She'd given him the name because of his happy-go-lucky nature and his endearing temperament. Every day he and his mother would patiently wait their turn to be fed, and then he did something extraordinary that would imprint on her heart forever. Orawan carefully slipped the collar over Tao Pluie's head. She had to make sure he'd be safe. In Thailand, dogs who were not wearing collars would be captured and taken to be euthanized. Orawan had always had an affinity for animals, and the thought of the hungry strays drove her to feed and care for as many as she could. It was a hard life for a street dog. Every day, more and more stray dogs would arrive, jostling and hungry. Some of them had been abandoned by their owners, and some were truly feral and had been born on the streets. People were touching when they saw Orawan's kindness, but some people in the town were unhappy that Orawan was feeding them, and they regarded the stray dogs as vermin. But putting a collar on Tao Pluie, Orawan had hoped the people would let him be, and he would not be reported and taken to the pound. She also hoped that if he had identification, he'd be less likely to fall prey to any kind of animal cruelty. There are people who do not care for dogs as she did. One day, Tao Pluie and his mother were nowhere to be seen as Orawan did her daily feeding rounds. She feared the worst. Anything could have happened to him on the street in the night, where he had nobody to care for him. She waited and waited, but still he did not arrive. It was unusual for them to miss feeding time, and she became more and more concerned. She started to search the streets nearby, hoping to find something, any trace of the two stray dogs. She went from door to door and asked the locals if they'd seen her winged bean and his mother. She described them in detail from their cream coats to their facial markings, and still nobody was able to tell her where they were. After searching fruitlessly, Orawan circled back to the place where she always fed the dogs, hoping that Tao Pluie and his mother had arrived while she was away. There was still no sign of them, and her heart grew heavy. Then in the distance she saw the cream-colored creature she'd grown to love so much. As he approached, with his tail wagging, she saw what he was carrying in his mouth. Tao Pluie approached Orawan slowly. His tail was wagging so hard that it made his little body sway from side to side, and he had a gift that he was holding carefully in his mouth. He dropped it in front of the bowl of rice that she'd dished up for him and waited tentatively. Orawan inspected the wet green offering with apprehension. Then she realized that he was waiting for her approval. He'd brought her a leaf as a token of appreciation for the bowl of rice, and he wouldn't tuck in until she'd accepted it. He understood the concept of exchange, and she was incredibly touched by his gesture. Since then, Tao Pluie has brought gifts for Orawan in exchange for his daily bowl of food. When he's hungry, he'll offer something to get fed. Every day he shows up with an object in his mouth, usually a leaf and sometimes a piece of paper. Before you feed other dogs, you have to feed Tao Pluie and his mom, Orawan explained. Due to the video that Orawan Kaiwa Ayat posted on Facebook of Tao Pluie bringing her gifts of gratitude for feeding him, people all over the world have fallen in love with the little dog. People have even come forward wanting to adopt him, so she no longer fears that there will be nobody to take care of him when she moves. The video of the little dog has gone viral, not just in Thailand but all around the world, reaching over 3 million views. The intelligence and gratitude that Tao Pluie shows with his gifts has astounded everyone who's witnessed it, and he and his mother will undoubtedly have forever homes in the near future. The video of the little winged bean has also highlighted the plight of stray dogs everywhere and inspires people to help animals in need in their own hometowns. The gratitude of the little pup is evident as he continues to bring Orawan little gifts daily. Would you consider helping an animal in need next time you see one?